You're ready to go? Okay. Alright, now I'm ready for the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Kirby's Epic Yarn. Obviously, you can already tell it's a bit different than your average Kirby game. So, they give us a tutorial level. This character here, Prince Fluff, we don't really see him much because this is a 1P run, but he'll pop in at the end of every level just to be our friend. Alright, so this first level is a tutorial level. It's pretty straightforward, just giving you signs, telling you how the mechanics go. Alright, so you can probably already notice Kirby doesn't run, he turns into a car. As opposed to having power-ups like a normal Kirby game, Kirby turns into vehicles and modes of transportation. So we'll go up here to skip going through the building. Hold this tab here. Alright, we didn't make the jump, but that's okay. Not too big of a deal. Normally you can skip that. And there's the end of the level. At the end of each level, there's 4 levels per world, and there's 7 worlds. At the end of each level, other than the boss levels, you'll have one of these bells that you have to ring with your rope. So then we get these clear screens after every level. You know, they just count up how many beads you get in a level. There's a bunch of cutscenes, but you can skip all those in this game, thankfully. Alright, so now I have no idea what this guy's actual name is. But we have to talk to him. You can't avoid him. He kind of looks like a plate with a mustache. Beats me as to what he actually is supposed to be, but he takes us into this apartment here. Apartment 101. And he'll like, oh, you need to lay your furniture down. But that's completely useless to us. We don't really need to do that or worry about furniture in this run. So we'll just hop on out of here real quick. Alright. So first world is Grassland. 4 levels and then a boss for each world, as I previously mentioned. First level is Fountain Gardens. Each level has an interesting mechanic that they introduce to us. I'll explain those as we come across them. One of my favorite things about this game has to be the music. The piano is just too good. Alright, so we got these fountains that we gotta get rid of. Waddle Dees, they like to body us randomly. Alright, we'll jump over that to avoid having to pull the block away. Alright. So doing that, we skipped going through the building, which takes a little bit. Shoutouts to the cuddling Waddle Dees. Alright, so this is Tank Kirby. Basically, motion controls as to where he faces up or down. Spam 1 to shoot missiles. Pretty straightforward. Most of the levels in this game are just moving from left to right. There's a couple exceptions to that rule. We'll encounter those later. Get rid of these guys, because the bombs, if they hit us, they slow us down. There's a Waddle Dee hiding up there. Alright. So you'll see a lot of different things. I would say vehicles, but there's some exceptions to that rule as well, but you'll see those throughout this run. Every time you hit that pole, Kirby turns back into normal, and there's the end of that level. The less beads we collect, the better, but sometimes it's hard to avoid. At the end of each level, you get a patch to unlock the next level. So we got the butterfly patch. That will... So it's faster to move to the door and then use the patch. In most cases, there are a couple exceptions to that rule as well. There's a lot of interesting mechanics in this game. Definitely not your normal Kirby game, that's for sure. Alright, this level is pretty short and introduces another ability that Kirby has. You'll see this ability twice throughout this one. So we'll skip that. Get plonked by a Waddle Dee because that'll be happening quite a bit. Hello. Right, so we go up here. These gold buttons, Kirby can swing off of those. Those are pretty common throughout this run. Kirby doesn't swim, he turns into a submarine. Oh, okay. Alright, so this, coming up here. Oh. There we go. This here is UFO Kirby. Looks familiar, right? If you guys played Kirby games, UFO Kirby is pretty common. Pretty cool power-up. So you have to suck up items to get an electrical charge to destroy things in our way here. So we'll collect these two Waddle Dees and we'll get this one up here. And then as soon as those boxes get into view, use your shock. Go through here. That's the end of that level. Pretty short, pretty straightforward level. They do their little dance, and now we've got the clock patch. Just tally our beads here. Alarm clock patch. That'll take us over to... Oh, I forgot, we have to talk to this guy first. This will be the last time we talk to Mr. Plate for a while. And for a while, I mean the rest of the run, because we don't have to deal with him. So that's okay. He wants us to place more furniture, we're not gonna worry about that. He can get someone else to do that. We got more important things to do. Alright, so let's continue on. Alright, so we're gonna drive over here. See the sleeping bear? We're gonna wake him up. And in favor, he's gonna push up a little mountain for us. And then go back to sleep. That alarm clock did a great job. Alright, Rainbow Falls. So from the get-go, pretty much, there's a cool ability that Kirby has here. We're gonna use some momentum to let the water push us. Oh, hello. Okay, that's fine. Oh, there we go. Alright, so coming up here, there we go, made the skip. So if you jump high enough there, Kirby will catch on to the water current. Just waddle these. Alright, so, you know, getting bodied by the waddle these is a pretty common thing, it'll happen a lot in this run. But when Kirby catches the water current there, it pushes him forward enough just so that he can make that jump. Alright, so up here we gotta jump with Kirby's surfboard. to skip that looking at the picture to tell us what to do. And every time we hit a downward slope, we pick up the speed, and then we start spinning over these jumps here. Oh, I missed that enemy, but that's okay. You can get double spins when you hit enemies if you hit them in the right frame. There we go. It's a little bit faster. Not too much faster, but in the end it'll be worth it. So we'll hit this guy. We'll see Surfboard Kirby at least once more through this run. So we're just gonna spin through all this. Okay. We didn't get the CD, which is good, because that's a time waste. But there you go. There's Rainbow Falls. Alright, now we got the bean patch. Alright, so this next level coming up is one of the very few levels that doesn't have a left to right level progression. And instead, it's going to be bottom to top. I do believe it is the only level that has this type of progression in the run. I do believe there's a couple other levels that have you go up at some point, but this level, the direction is always up. Alright, one other thing I should mention is that we have saves disabled because we don't have a save file on the Wii U that I'm using. And that saves a lot of time because otherwise after every level you'd get a pop-up of telling you that it saved the game. Okay, so we're gonna grab this guy's arrow here. Now these Waddle Dees are gonna fly for us with these balloons. Try not to get hit by him. These guys are notorious for trying to bonk you off. We're gonna avoid that as much as we can. Oh, it's moving away from us here. Alright, so normally this guy takes 2 Waddle Dees to hit. We're gonna hit him in one shot with the arrow that we collected. Alright, this part is very tricky to get consistent, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a safer way to go. And wait for this guy to come up here instead. I'm gonna go this way. Wait for the next round of Waddle Dees. This level is very tricky to get the correct cycle. I'm probably gonna have to wait until the next Waddle Dee. Yeah, that's fine. They're not too far behind, luckily. Alright, there's Bean Patch. Pretty straightforward level. Can be a little tricky if you get hit by anything and fall all the way to the bottom. But we're almost done with World 1. Now we're gonna meet our first boss of this run. Fangora. He's just a dragon made of yarn. Nothing too spectacular. One of the easiest boss fights in the game. Not a whole lot you can do to skip cycles in him, but I'm gonna try something to skip a final cycle. Very minor time save, but we'll give it a shot. Can't hurt to try. Alright, Fangora. Alright, so he flies in all spectacularly. You can kind of notice the little red button inside of his throat. Yeah, that's his target. That's what we're gonna try to expose. So we face away from him, and he shoots his tongue at us, which is an arrow for some reason. Most bosses take 3 hits. I think Meta Knight is the only exception, other than Yin Yarn, to take 3 hits. We'll see him later. Alright, so... doesn't really matter if you get hit, because if you guys haven't noticed yet, you can't die in this game. We'll probably encounter that later with some of the other levels, but it is impossible to die. Alright, so I didn't manage to get the cycle correctly, but that's okay. Not too big of a time loss there. He'll just fly up and come and try to hit me from the bottom again. Somewhere, yeah, right about here. There we go. You don't really take damage either, you just lose beads. You don't have a health meter. So, by far, this game is pretty easy in that respect, but some of the more platforming areas are a little bit more tricky, but that's okay. There we go! There's Fangor. They do their little longer dance. And now we have some epic yarn. Alright. Next up is World 2. Skip the cutscene. That tells us that we got the yarn. He'll pop up and tell us that we want to go visit him and his brothers, but we'd rather not. That's the map. It's easier to... it saves a bit of time to navigate with the map between worlds. Alright, so Pyramid Sands. Alright. So a desert level. This is pretty straightforward. I didn't quite get the correct cycle to avoid the tornadoes, but that's okay. Not a huge time loss there either. We'll try to avoid him shooting an arrow at us. Alright, so he decided to snipe us right there, but that's okay. Alright, so we'll bonk into him and then hop over him. So this discoloration here, it's kind of like an elevator. Just ride down with it. Oh, okay. Alright, so here, it's the only time you'll see this. His car, Kirby. So we've got some goons to race here. Gotta jump to avoid the cactus. Pick up some speed boosts. Pretty straightforward. Waddle Dee's not a very good driver. So we'll go ahead and just pick up as much speed boosts as we can. When we have speed boosts, we can go through cactus, thank goodness. Jump over him. Avoid the cactus there. And then we'll pass the last guy right at the end. And there you go. Then they'll somehow appear here even though they were way behind us. And there's the first level of World 2. It's a pretty straightforward level. Alright, so the next level is a bit tricky. But it also introduces another power-up that you'll only see once throughout the run, sadly. I think it's one of the cuter power-ups that they gave Kirby. Alright. This level also has really good music. This game in general has really, really good music. Alright. So up here we gotta steal a bomb from this guy. To make that go a lot faster. That way we don't have to grab a bomb. Alright, so normally I don't make that cycle in time, so we just wait a little bit so that we don't fall into the lava. Jump off of these, I don't know what they are, dragons maybe? Jump off their heads. And turn into single thread. This is one of my favorite. Look, fire trap Kirby. So we just spray the fire out of the way. Use some invincibility frames there. Keep these guys away from us. The hose is motion controlled. So that's why you can kind of see it spazzing out a little bit. Alright, so now this is another bottom to top platforming section. Get him out of the way so he doesn't bump us back down. Alright, so we're gonna see blue buttons and red buttons. Blue buttons, when you pull them, they're done. You don't pull them again, but red ones are on a time limit. Okay, there we go. Oh, he poked us. Okay. So this one right here is on a time limit, and we'll just get close enough. There we go. Wait for it to pull back up. Want the lava, hit the top, pull the button, and that's that level. Oh, we got a B bonus. Alright. World 2 is probably one of my favorite worlds in the game. There's some really cool levels in this, but this next level is not that cool. Despite the name, it is not one of my favorite levels. The platforming in it is very tricky, very cycle-based. And that level is Cool Cave. Not as cool as it would seem. And we'll find out why. So a lot of different mechanics that they introduce in this level. Alright. So we'll turn into the thread again. The thread will pull that up. This green one, green buttons, I don't know if you'd call them buttons, we'll just call them green, we'll call them buttons, why not? Green buttons, they pull things in your direction. We'll see those a couple times throughout the run. Alright, so this is a thread maze. We gotta avoid as many of those openings as we can. So that Kirby can just be a continuous thread here. Alright. So one of the things you'll see a lot of in this game is car momentum. That helps us a lot in some of the later levels. Oh, we made that anyway. Okay. We'll take some invincibility frames here. Alright, so I'm not gonna go for that because it would squish me. It's not a good idea. Wait a little bit. Alright. Avoid him. Alright, so this is the part of the level that gets the most people upset, is these falling icicles, I think? I guess you'd call them that. They look like 3 swords. The platform on top. Oh, okay. If I hadn't have bonked on there, I probably would have made that, but that's alright. Don't really need to be up here. We need this middle one here. Come up here. There's a jump that you can do there, but I haven't been able to get it consistently. It takes you straight from the sword. There we go. Alright, here's another fun vehicle. They give you special music as well. I'm not sure what this vehicle is supposed to be exactly, but it's pretty adorable nonetheless. You can jump even, which is really nice. Oh, go up, there we go. So we just kind of plow through all the snow, or cloud. Fluff, I guess. Alright. So there's Cool Cave. Now we've got the Fire Patch. And one of my favorite levels in this game is coming up next. It has a lot of auto-scrolling elements, but I still like it nonetheless. So the fire will just cook this this meat here, and then out pops this dino, who still has egg on him for some reason. Just eat it in one bite, sure, that works. Alright, so this is Dino Jungle. Level has really good music, really cool scenery. It's not too bad of a level. Okay, this guy will tend to body us. So we'll just pull this up here. And we have to wait for the pterodactyl to come down. There he is. Swing back and forth. There you are. Alright, so here's the auto-scrolling part of it. First couple sections we can take somewhat fast. The second one's not so much. So we kind of just stick with this guy for a bit. Avoid these. They're supposed to be bees, I suppose. Alright. I do believe there's only 2 more sections of this now. Jump to avoid the bees. Avoid that. And here's the last auto-scrolling section of this level. More bees to avoid. Doesn't really matter where you go here. I just prefer to go up here to avoid the bees. Alright. These are out of the way. Now we can continue with our platforming. Oh. Alright, we'll just stand on top of him instead. Hello? Alright. So pull that down. Didn't mean to grab him, but that's okay. Avoid him. So we're gonna go this way. Slightly faster than taking the other carpet down. Don't need to go down here, just gotta go straight across. That guy seems to always get me. Oh. Alright. So now we just ride down here. Little frame rate drop there, but that's okay. And there's the end of that. Alright, so the next boss coming up is a little tricky. Can be a little long sometimes, but hopefully we'll get the cycles that we're looking for. The Pepper Patch. Alright. So the last world had a dragon as its boss. This one This one has a phoenix. Volcano will erupt here. I do believe its name is Hot Wings? Yep. Hot Wings. Basically, a phoenix. Alright, so there's a Waddle Dee down here for some reason. I don't know if it's just to tell you that the lava can kill you, but rip that Waddle Dee. Alright, so this is Hot Wings. He'll throw these little guys at us. We need to pick one of them up, and we need to put it on the ground. Then he'll come back down and he'll repeat his cycle on the other side. So we'll pick up another one. Pick up one of these. Oh, okay, that's fine. We can wait one more cycle. Oh, Kirby. Alright, so I do believe, yep, I lost the yarn spool there, but that's okay. Last cycle will just be a tiny bit longer, but that's not a huge deal. So he'll come back down. We'll throw that at him, skip that cycle. Now his final phase is the hardest, which is why I was hoping to skip it, but that's okay. He'll fly past me a couple times here before he will give us a chance to attack him again. So we'll have these fireballs here. He'll fly past us a couple more times. Even get hit by him if we want to. Just to lose some beads. He should. Yep, one more fireball phase. After he flies by 2 more times, we'll have our next opportunity to expose his red button. Take that. So now he'll shoot those little firebirds at us. And there you go, that's Hot Wings. Would have been faster if I would have gotten the third firebird at the beginning, but that's okay. There you go, now we got our second set of magic yarn. Alright, so World 3 is, I like to call it the miscellaneous world. It's got a bunch of different level themes in it that don't really relate to each other. But I do believe they call it, what do they call it? Treatland, okay. I never really paid attention to that too much, but it makes sense now. Alright, so the first level in this world is Toy Tracks. One of the more challenging levels in this game. It also has an ability that I personally don't like, and we'll find out why once I get there. So we're gonna pull this car here. Kirby turns into, like, I don't know if it's supposed to be a tank, but he does that when he needs to pull something. Oh. Stop that guy from throwing that box at us. Alright, this is one of 2 rubber duckies we'll encounter this level. Okay, that's good. Those, these legs here, they're, one-shot, quote-unquote death. Not really death because you can't die in this game. Okay. That guy can get out of here. We'll just go up here instead. So these robots here can be a little tricky. You can count them in a little bit. Here's rubber ducky number 2. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. So we use the momentum to just ride the ducky down the slope. Avoid that as we can. Oh, no. Right before he decided to boop us. So we usually just follow these robots. This one I need to be lower for. Oh, almost. Oh, not quite. We'll wait for his arm to come up one more time here. There we go. Not too bad with the robots there. Okay, so we need to get rid of this guy. So he calls other friends, and they just get in our way. I'm up here. Fix the teddy bear's foot. He's all happy, then he helps us out. Alright, so here's the power-up that I really personally don't like. That's because it involves motion controls. Alright, so we have to hold A, start the track from beneath the walls here, and then just keep holding A as steady as they can. The pink ball around the star is how much we have in terms of track length. And you have to make sure that once you start a new track... Oh, I might get stuck on that. That's okay. We picked up the speed, so that's fine. These little power-ups here make us go faster, or little speed boosts as we call them. I'll make that, okay. Alright, so I missed the last boost, but there should be one more. There we go. Try to avoid the little trailers. Alright. Thankfully, that's the only time we ever see Train Kirby. Oh, Kirby. The only time we ever see Train Kirby in this run is right there. Alright, so that was the first level. It's kind of a long level, but not too bad if you can get the correct cycles with the robots. Oh, we are not gonna go see your brothers, I'm sorry. Alright. Second level's way over here. And it's something completely unrelated so far. This hammer brings up mushrooms, I guess. Alright, so Mushroom Run. As you can probably already guess, we use mushrooms. But not in the way you would think. We're gonna avoid this one, though. So yeah, the mushrooms, you can bounce off of them. We're gonna avoid that. Uh-oh. Don't want to get caught on that. But if you quote-unquote ground pound on the mushrooms, you get more height. Orange mushrooms make you go higher than the red ones, and the blue ones are directional. Oh no! Okay, that's fine. Just gotta wait a little bit. Alright. Oh no! Okay, that's fine. Still on the mushroom. Just for safety purposes. Alright, so down here. Alright, so this blue one will take us over here. This one will take us all the way over here. Use this one to get over him. Alright. So we avoid the snails and go in the second tree here. Ground pound on this mushroom. Takes us up here. It's a little higher. We don't ground pound on these ones because we don't need to go up that high. Alright, there's the mushroom level. Alright, so the next level is all about food. Strictly heavy platforming. Pretty straightforward level. But we need to go back here. Alright. So I'm gonna start this level and get to a platforming section, and then from what I understand we have a donation. Alright, so this is food-based level here. You avoid all this. And there's these cookies that we can jump on here. Take a little bit of damage from him, not a huge deal. Jump off cake. Make some good cycles, that's always nice. Alright. Oh, hello. Alright, so, if you guys want to read your donation, you can go ahead. Oh, okay. We gotta wait for this cake to pass here. Oh, come on, Kirby. This cake is just not... Alright, there we go. Jump up this ladder.
Alright, if I may interject here.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. We have a $12 donation from Sonic Boom Sensei. And his donation reads, "Awesome marathon friends, special good luck to Jay. Hopefully you string a good run together for us. Donation goes for naming Frisk Donut DS."
The yarn puns.
Alright, good luck with your run.
Thank you. Oh, the yarn puns, there's so many. More than I would have imagined. But alright, so we just jump off all these assorted desserts here. That's the end of that level. Alright. So now we've gotten through the food level. The next level has a pretty nice theme to it. I really like this next level. Probably my favorite level in this world. For sure. Alright. So this level is music themed. And those strings of music notes will come in handy in a little bit here. Called Melody Town. Alright, so there's a lot of interesting things that if you run on them, you make music. Which in turn makes beads. Alright, so we'll turn into a string here, and there's 2 of these in this level. It's just a little auto-scrolly section where we avoid beads. Oh, no, okay. Had a feeling he was gonna be sitting there, but that's okay. Alright. Couple harps that we swing off of. Get that guy out of the way. Jump up here. Avoid that. We're just gonna throw him out of the way here. Symbols act like mushrooms. Not as powerful as the mushrooms, but they pretty much have the same effect. Alright, avoid that so that we don't jump up in the air again. Then we'll get shot out of this tuba. Avoid as many beads as we can. Alright. There's the end of that. So now we're already onto the boss. Oh, that's taking a little extra long than I wanted. Alright. So now we have the pump patch. And this next boss that's coming up is a decent boss. I used to struggle with this, but there's a cool double card strat that you can do that'll help us get through this next fight. So we're gonna go over here and use the pump. And this deflated pumpkin here, well, we're gonna make it float and give it a crown somehow. Alright. Squashini. So you're gonna notice that this boss has some familiar looking aspects to other games. First off, Squashini is a magician. Then we have an audience of Waddle Dees. They're gonna help us out at the beginning of this fight here. So it's a slot machine. Now, you'd think that the slot machine would be RNG, but in this fight it's not. It's scripted. So this next thing will be the hat. Yep. So he's gonna crawl up into his hat here. He's gonna make 2 other hats. So, you guys have seen this before, like... The Waddle Dees basically tell us where he is. So he's gonna be in this hat right here. So we'll pull that out, and then... go ahead and throw him against the wall. Alright, so this next cycle is gonna be the card cycle. After the rope. Forgot about the rope cycle. This cycle is extremely insignificant, and here's why. He basically pulls the curtain and puts it next to a bomb. It doesn't really matter if you stay in here or if you just wiggle your way out. So he just leaves. It's fine. The fuse is incredibly slow anyway. So we just wait it out. Then it explodes. But we can't die in this game, so Kirby just takes it. Alright, next cycle is the card cycle. He's gonna throw a bunch of cards at us, and we need to pick up at least 2 cards to skip the other cycles. Alright, so there's 1. Now I need to wait for him to get back up before I throw another at him. Oh, there we go! There's Squashini. Alright, so that's World 3. We got some more epic yarn. World 4 is a pretty short world. And it has a very, very common theme to it. Skip the cutscene. Of course, he needs us to help him, but we're not going to. So this is Waterland. Oh, mashing buttons just a little too hard, but that's okay. This takes us straight to World 4. And now we have Splash Beach. Oh, okay, well, that's okay. Normally we jump over that, but Kirby decided to go for a little swim, even though he's gonna get much of that later. So we're gonna go down here. I'm gonna open up this little portal. There we go. We're gonna go inside there, and it's gonna take us all the way up here. There's some platforms. So it's nighttime right now, so everybody's sleeping, except for that guy, I guess. And we're gonna pull the sun and wake him up, but we're gonna make sure we get as far over here as we can. Ground pound before that. Pretty sure I'm on a platform. Oh no, we didn't. Alright, that's good. So we managed to not get caught on a white platform there, which is really nice. Alright, so we fell down, but that's okay. Use the umbrellas to just pull ourselves right back up. Gonna get ourselves back up top here. Gonna go up this way with the rising and falling water levels. This level's very short. So now we have these little ways that we can boost up here. Surface swimming is a thing. It's kind of counterproductive. You kind of just want to stay in the water as much as you can here. And there you go. There's the first water level. Now we have the whistle patch. The next level introduces probably my favorite ability that Kirby has in this game. It's only in 2 levels in the entire game, and it's only in this world. But we will see that shortly. So we're gonna get rid of this school of fish that's keeping us from progressing here. For some reason the whistle gets rid of them. And there they are, swimming as a fish. Blub Blub Ocean. So this is one of the levels where it's pretty much all underwater. So you guys can take a guess as to what our power-up will be. But first we'll start out as submarine. Swimming is very slow unless you spam 2, which is what I'm doing right now. Should also mention that when you play this game, you hold the Wiimote horizontally. So go down here. Avoid the jellyfish. Catch this current, and then we go down this way. Avoid the jellyfish and the swordfish. Alright, so here's the power-up that I'm talking about. This is Dolphin Kirby. Dolphin Kirby is pretty fantastic, I would say. It's much faster to go ahead and spin. So we're gonna ride these waterfalls up to the top. Avoid some more jellyfish. Oh, that was a little close. Now this one we have to swim if we want to keep going. Alright, so we just got rid of him, which is fine. Alright, so now we're gonna try to sit right in between these 2 guys. That way we don't get hit by them. Alright, so that was Dolphin Kirby, the first time we'll see him. And there's the second level of World 4. This next level is actually completely on the land. It's the only level in this world that does not have any water aspects to it. We're gonna get a couple motivational characters here. So this creates a little hoop. So we've got a dolphin, an orca, and this guy. Just proving everybody wrong. Motivational whale right there. Alright. So this is Secret Island, which is no longer as secret. Completely on land. A pretty decent length level. Alright, so the red bee kind of decided to body us right away, but that's alright. So we get rid of these blocks and head on this way. So we're in the background right now, and all of these doors give us like 2 planes of movement. Behind the scenes and in front. Alright, so this section coming up here involves a lot of ladders and spikes. So we're just gonna avoid them as best as we can here. There we go. Ground pound down here. And head on this way. And we don't need to go up or anything, just gotta keep going right. Some tight platforming here. Oh. So we're gonna go up this way. We're not gonna go through that door, we're gonna go through this one. And ride this platform all the way up here. Right, I'm not 100% sure if these are supposed to be birds or what they are, but we use them to get up here. And there you go. Alright. The heart patch. So now we have one more level left in this world, and it's entirely underwater. Except for maybe the beginning. So we're gonna go down here, head this way. It's kind of this dark place that we can't get into, where we're gonna put a heart there. Now they're happy. So now we can go in here, which I do believe Deep Dive Deep. That's a wonderful level name. Alright, so we get to see Dolphin Kirby again. But we're gonna stick with Submarine Kirby for now. So we've got these eels up ahead. We gotta make sure that we get decent cycles on them. Take a little bit of invincibility if we have to. Oh, just a little too low. And we're gonna try to... Oh, we didn't make it. Tried to sneak through him, but that's okay. We're just gonna use invincibility frames. We'll see more of that throughout this level as well. Alright, so now we've got a little chaser scene. There's two of these in this level. With Dolphin Kirby after this. Catch these jets that take us forward. Oh, don't want to get stuck on the little pouches here. Just keep spamming 2 to swim forward, and here's Dolphin Kirby. Alright, so now we just gotta kinda move past here. So we basically abuse invincibility frames to get through this part. Here comes the horizontal chase section with Dolphin Kirby. Oops. It's minorly faster to spin with Dolphin Kirby, but you have to make sure you know where the block placement is. Which is good there. Alright, that's the end of that level. Alright, so the next boss has some pretty cool cycle skips you can do. This boss is not my favorite, but it's not the worst. The Octopus Nook Patch. So we're gonna go up here. The squid, yeah, he needs to move. So he, for some reason, decides, oh, it's a jar. I'm gonna go in there. Which, lucky for us, that means we can progress. So this boss is Kapamari. And Kirby's not too happy about that. So this boss is basically a giant squid. It's also a giant squid with a hat. As soon as he pops down here. Or up here. Yeah, up here. He's got a pretty nifty hat there. But we want him to take it off. So we're just gonna grab this, and we're gonna move up. Right over here in this snug little side. Tentacles can't quite reach us because it's his hat, and his tentacles can't go through. I'm gonna get rid of these tentacles here. So that one's not gonna quite grab us. There we go. That one's a little too short, so we're gonna sit in this corner again. This one's gonna try to grab us, and then we're gonna hold on to this. And he's gonna turn into this form. And he's gonna spoo the scoop. Now we need to look for his eyes. They're over here. Which skips having to go through that. So now he only needs one more hit. So he does this little drill section. And I kind of just like to sit down here and let him do his thing. Alright. So, and then out comes these little guys. We're gonna grab one of them. They do their drill thing. Then we're gonna go up here. And that's Kapamari. And we've got more yarn. They do their little swimmy dance. Alright. So that's World 4. The next world is kind of a contrast to this world. Got some more yarn, don't need to worry about it. We have brothers to visit. Next world is Snowland. So this first level in Snowland has, in my opinion, the best music in the game. Snowy fields. We're gonna see some really trolly Waddle Dees here. They like to make us go slower, but we're gonna try to avoid them as best we can. That works. Alright, so as you notice, the Waddle Dees throw snowballs at you. We're gonna try to avoid those as much as possible. You can jump over them, and you can also jump on top of them. Like that. We're gonna wait for this to pass. Just gotta make sure we have enough momentum to get over these snowballs. That was a little close, but that one, yeah. So they'll just sit there and roll up snowballs and throw them at us. So we're gonna go down here. Go ahead and run this way. He throws a big snowball at us. And try to avoid it. And down this way again. Oh, there we go. Normally if you get stuck in something like that, I spam buttons to get out of it. Oh, yep. Alright, so there's the first time we've seen a little angel guy. These guys like to throw snowballs at us. And drop us down as low as we can go. Not too big of a deal. As I said previously, you can't die in this game. But there you go, that's the first level. A little bit of a slow pin on that, but that's okay. Now we've got the mitten patch. Well, we only picked up 6 beads, that's nice. So this next level, you'll see us using Parachute Kirby quite a bit. So we're gonna take this guy's hat. He doesn't look too thrilled about it, but we built a mitten cabinet out of it. It's okay. Cozy cabin, to be exact. So we're gonna see a lot of parachute Kirby in this. Definitely a more relaxed level. So we're gonna use parachute Kirby to fly up here. Use the air current. And then ground pound into here. Go ahead and grab this yarn here. Pull these up. Head down this way. We'll see a couple more cabins like that we'll have to go through. So we're gonna head down this way into this house. Go ahead and push ourselves forward that way. One of the things that you should note is that Kirby can hold on to items when he's parachuting. He can hold on to items in pretty much every form that he has. That's okay. We don't need the item anyway. So we're gonna try to get ourselves to... There we go. Get pushed in front of the block. We're gonna try to get as far to the right as we can. And head on this way. Use parachute Kirby again. So up here, we're gonna catch on to this current. Oh, hello. There we go. Alright, so this waddle dee. We need a spear. Take that all out at once. Get rid of the rest of these blocks and head up this way. Catch this current. And that's the end of the second level. There you go. Alright. So these levels are flying by pretty quickly in this world. This world's pretty short. Has some great levels in it, though. So we're gonna drive over here. Sit up here. Use this little spool patch. We're gonna remove his head, but that's okay. His face just falls down. And there we go. Mount Slide. So we're gonna jump up here. And this is the return of Surfboard Kirby. But for something completely different. Kirby uses his surfboard as a sled. So we're just gonna jump over as much as we can. Avoid as many enemies with spears as we can because those slow us down. Avoid the trees because those propel us upward. It's okay that we picked that up. Just a bunch of beads. Alright, so this is a little wing boost here. Allows us to get a little more distance with Kirby when we spin. Alright. So now we kind of... It's the return of these icicle things. Don't really need to be on top of them. Not a huge deal there. Pick up the wings. Fly this way. Go ahead and spin over that. Don't pick up the CD. Fly down this way. Alright, so that will happen if you hit an enemy with a spear, which we're going to avoid now. And we'll avoid the knit cap sofa. It's a furniture item that we don't need to worry about. Alright, so pick up some wings. Fly over this way. Do some cool 360s. Alright. There we go. So now we just have one more level left in Snow World, or Snowland. And this level has one of the cutest aspects to it, I find. Alright, so this next level is all about snowflakes. I'm gonna stand right about here. And take off the snowman's head yet again. Should be the last time we do that. It makes a magical rotating snowflake with platforms on it. Called Frosty Wheel. So we're gonna head over this way. There we go. So this level, instead of Kirby turning into a car, he does this. Just hops in a little bobsled and... Okay, managed to catch that, that's good. He can even go over water, he's going so fast. Hop on these little ice cubes. Then we've got the Frosty Wheel here. So if you hit that, you turn into an ice cube. Try to avoid it as much as we can, but it doesn't take too much to get out of. Alright. So this part's a little tricky. You have to stand on a slope. You have to wait for these two to pass without turning into an ice cube. Alright. Pick up some speed here. Sometimes I bump into him. Not a huge deal if I do. Avoid these guys down here. Go super fast on a sled for the rest of this level. Oh, there we go. And final jumps coming up. There we go. There you go. There's the last regular level of Snow World. So now we got our next patch. Got a bit too many beads there, but that's okay. Alright, so this next boss is going to be familiar to pretty much everybody. Or at least it should be familiar to everybody who's ever played a Kirby game or a Smash Brothers game. Oh, we do take it. Oh, we do take his other head off. Okay. We make a cloud with it instead. I think that's a cloud, or maybe it's just a scarf. I don't know. We make that with it, and that opens King DDD's door. Oh, but look at how happy he is now. Alright, so King DDD can be a pretty short boss fight if we get the cycles correct. There's a bit going on with this boss fight, so some good music as well. So we've got this puppeteer that we have to try to fend off. Alright, so we got that first try, which is really nice. So we can bring that down and take one of those away. So he's gonna jump up and drop these spikes down. Oh, I hit a spike, it's okay. So that's fine. I picked up way too many beads here, but that's okay. He's gonna come rolling at us with a hammer. Which is really good that we just hit him there, because sometimes I miss that. That is alright. Okay, so he's gonna jump up and down and do a spike thing, I do believe. Oh, nope, he's gonna do hammer. So this is a really good DDD fight for me. Got some more yarn there. Pretty quick fight. Alright, so the good news is we only have 2 worlds left. But this next world is one of the longer ones. Oh, I got the penguin patch. We don't need the penguin patch, it's not useful to us. Alright, so the next world is completely kind of out there, Spaceland. This first level here is one of the longer levels in the run. It's a pretty fun one. There's a lot to it, though. Future City. Alright. So, the music in this world is pretty repetitive. I do believe at least 2 levels in this world use this music. Alright, so we're gonna ride this roller coaster here. Try to stay crouched to avoid beads. So this takes us all the way to the next part of the level. And we're gonna wait, use some momentum from it to boost forward. Like that. Didn't really need to grab that, but... Oh, I didn't need to grab that either, but Kirby just wants the boxes for some reason. Alright, so platforming section here. I'm gonna grab Waddle Dee. Go this way. Take a little damage, not too much. Isn't really damage. Oh. Not sure why that was the case there, but... Waddle Dees weigh so much more than Kirby, apparently. Oh! These things take a while to register your weight. Alright, so there we go. That section can be a little tricky. But that's okay. So we'll take another elevator up here. And then we'll see our good friend UFO Kirby again. This time we don't need to suck up any enemies to get through any walls, so we're just gonna avoid as much as we can. Apparently didn't take damage from that. Which is fine by me. Take some damage there. Fly up this way. Oh! That bonk. Head down here. Do believe we have one more roller coaster to ride after this platforming section. Good thing we don't have beads. Alright. So this fire at the end likes to troll us a bit, but past it. Alright, I want to catch that roller coaster before it takes off. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we weren't able to catch the roller coaster, but that's okay. This guy just takes us right up back here for the next one. Alright. So, basically an auto-scroller. There are UFOs on this part that we have to be careful they don't boop us off. Otherwise we have to go all the way back. We should be coming up shortly here. There's the first one. There's the other one. Don't need to get on the roller coaster up there. They both end up in the same place anyway. Oh, we hit him, but we didn't fall off, so that's okay. And use the momentum to push us forward. And there you go, there's the first level of Spaceland. Definitely a longer level, but a pretty fun one nonetheless. Alright. So the next level has another new mechanic for us. It's kind of an annoying mechanic, but it involves some minor puzzle solving. So we're gonna drive over here to this broken TV and plug it in. So now it floats. Alright, Tube Town. So this level is all about electrical currents. So we want to avoid those as much as we can. Gonna grab this button, swing ourselves up here. Take some damage, not too big of a deal. Head up this way. Okay, so this plug here, this purple hole right there brings out one of those yellow guys. He's a plug, so we have to lead him to that. We'll see those at least 2 more times throughout this level. Alright, so we made it down here, which is nice. So this guy's gonna shoot this. We're gonna go ahead and unhook this guy and head this way. So he's programmed to follow us. He's after us. And we're gonna go up here. He's gonna plug this in for us. Just ride this up here. And then we're gonna head up this way and plug in this so that we can go up above this platform here. Fit right underneath here, all nice and snug. Catch this while we can. Try to avoid as many beads as possible. Take a couple hits from the spikes to drop off some beads. Get booped by him, it's okay. And there's the end of that level. That was a pretty solid level on my part. Alright. So there's level 2. Next level has some interesting gravity issues that are both fun and annoying at the same time. Alright, so we're gonna radio down this UFO here. Who pulls down the sky with it and calls some other UFOs. So we need to go inside that UFO. Mysterious UFO, excuse me. Oops. Didn't quite touch that platform. So this level's main quirk is its gravity switches. This UFO has some interesting layouts to it. So right here, this is a gravity switch. So it allows Kirby to just float. Because Kirby doesn't have the ability to float in this game. Also, ground pounding becomes pretty much ineffective, which becomes a problem later. Because we need to go through there. So we gotta head up this way. And turn the gravity back on. So that we can make it through here. Alright, so this part, normally you'd wait for this platform. We're speedrunning, we're not gonna wait. Or this one we will. Normally I don't catch that first platform on the beginning cycle, so I just hit the electrical line and run over. Alright. So we're gonna go down here. Down here, there's another gravity switch. Gonna fling ourselves over. Jump. Ground pound, jump. Ground pound again. Float up here. There we go. Car Kirby likes to float. Just barely made that, but we need to turn the gravity back on. So we're gonna go ahead and go this way. So normally we used this gravity switch here. There is a jump that you can do. It's very precise to make it to this part, but this is more safe for me. So we're just gonna fly all the way over here. We're gonna drop right here, and then fly again. With all the momentum we have. Alright, so we're gonna go here now. This time we need to turn gravity off again. So we're gonna head in here. Grab this. Turn around, Kirby. And then get pulled up this way. Stay right here, and it turns us back this way. And that's the end of that level. It can be a little tricky if you don't get the cycles right on those turning wheels, but we did a pretty decent job, I'd say. Alright, so the next level is another platforming heavy level. Specifically left to right platforming. Coupled with an auto-scroller. Alright. So we string the stars here. And that opens up our last level, Stellar Way. Kind of similar to the food level in World 3. Platforming-wise, lots of spinning platforms. This time we have stars. So I'm gonna head up this way. Try to avoid the little electric fireballs that are headed our way. This guy's being a little silly. Alright, so these guys are all being silly right now. I'm just gonna move past that. Oh, okay. Almost had a death there. We're gonna ride this one around. Get some momentum first. Because we need to catch this ladder. We're gonna head up this way. Use these spinning platforms that don't like to catch me sitting on them very often. These UFOs are very mean. They like to push us off. Like that. So we're gonna try to get out of here as much as we can. Oh dear, it's eating my jumps. Okay. So those UFOs love to body us. So I'm waiting for him to come over here so I can deal with him. Alright. So this is what should have happened the first time. Luckily, okay, that UFO pushed us to the right spot, so that guy was a pal and decided to help us out. The other ones were not. So we're just gonna chill down here. Couldn't quite make it up there, but that's fine. We'll swing this way. There we go. Avoid these fireballs. Or hit that one. Hit that one too. We're almost to the auto-scrolling section. Alright, so this is a very boring section of the run. This is where donations would be read, because all we do is sit at the top of the screen, watch everything go past us, And once we get towards the end of the auto-scroller, we hold up on the D-pad and use 1 to grab the bell. Alright, so these guys are just gonna fly past us. Bees. I think there's a couple UFOs, yep. They kinda just sit there. They don't really... They shoot once, they miss somehow, and then they just fly away. They just run into us and we lose beads and pick up beads. Pretty simple. Nothing you can do to get through this section faster other than just sit at the top here. So they're just gonna keep going and doing their thing. Got a couple more, and a squid! Or a jellyfish. Let's call him a jellyfish. A couple more UFOs, and if we should be close to the end here. Alright. So once we see Kirby starting to get pulled by the pole, we will hit up and try to get the bell before the camera follows us. There we go! There's the last level in the space world. Alright. So this next boss is also going to be familiar to the other Kirby runners here. Very popular Kirby character. But this is also the hardest boss fight in this game. At least for me, it is the hardest boss fight in this game. Alright, so we're going to turn on this little robot head, and we're going to fight Meta Knight. This guy can be a little tricky, but hoping for the best cycles here. Alright, so this boss has 4 phases, much like DDD. So he doesn't look like he's having a good time, and this guy gives him a sword. So this is the green cycle. It's the easiest of the 4 cycles here. So he's gonna come down and swipe at us. So you jump up. I wasn't able to grab that, but that's okay. So come down here and slice us again. Kirby, this boss fight is very tricky. Meta Knight can be a little... There we go. I'm gonna wait for him to come down here and slice at us again. There we go. There's the first cycle. Alright, so blue cycle. He's gonna try to come down here and slice at us. I didn't mean to pick up the wool, but that's okay. Normally we would have used that other yarn to skip this next phase, which is the purple phase, which is the worst phase out of the 4. Because he'll do this. So we just need to take hits while he's doing that. So hit us again. He should jump up sometime soon. I'm not sure why he's not right now. But he's being a little bit of a... I'm not sure why he's doing this. He's very picky as to when he flies up to give us something to shoot at him. There we go. Okay, so that didn't work. So now we have to... There we go. Now he's doing the cycles correctly. Alright, so wait for him to come back down here. And now he shoots more cycles at us. Okay. Meta Knight's a real picky boss here. There we go. Purple phase is easily the worst of the 4 phases. So now we have red phase. That was a little high for some reason. There you go, there's Meta Knight. Not as fast as they could have gone, but better than sitting forever on purple phase. So there you go, there's the hardest boss in the game done. We have more yarn, and now we only have one more world left to go. Alright, so we skip another cutscene. Same thing at the end of each boss fight that we do. Alright, so final world here. So we just teleported to Dreamland with the magic sock. So now we have a bunch of throwback levels with throwback music in it. So first off is Wispy's Forest. Alright, so here's some familiar music for you guys. I'm gonna try to grab a bomb up here. Oh, okay. We'll just use the arrow. This guy is being a little trigger happy. So that section can be a little tricky if you don't grab the bomb. And the Waddle Dees kind of just like to bonk you everywhere. There we go. There we are. Down we go. Alright, so we're gonna use this cannon to our advantage. These things should look familiar to Kirby runners. These cannons are pretty fun. So we'll take a hit there to move along here. All these platforms upward. Wait a little bit to catch some of these other platforms up here. There we go. Get a little bit more momentum to shoot us up there. Alright, through here. We gotta go up a little bit. Almost done with this level. There's a little bit more yet. Some falling spikes we gotta try to avoid, but not a huge deal if you don't. Alright, so this takes us over here, and it's the return of an awesome ability, or power-up I should say, Tank. So we're just gonna keep firing missiles here, that way we can kill as many enemies as we can before they appear on screen. Gonna keep spamming these. These guys like to throw apples at us, but... Oh, I didn't mention that Tank can fly. He's got a little jet boost that he can help himself out with. I got stuck on a brick there. Okay. That's alright. Happens every now and then. Some more apples. So that guy deals with the lower half for us. So we kind of let him just roll through here. Alright. So we're gonna let Mr. Bear kind of run through a couple of those blocks here. Alright. We're gonna drop down here. Oop, there we go. And then there's this guy. Came here a little overpowered. There you go. there's the first level of World 7. Or Dreamland. A little long on the pin, but that's alright. Alright, so we got a bit more beads here. Now we have the crank handle. Alright. Oh, I'm not in the right place for this, but that's okay. Alright, Tempest Towers. Okay, so we got some more familiar music going on here. This level has wind currents that we abuse. So we're gonna bonk him off the edge, because he hasn't been very kind to us. Use the wind currents and kind of push us forward here. Get rid of him. Oh, make it. Okay. As long as we don't fall all the way down, back down, that's alright. So we'll take this cannon up this way. Kind of just, oh, fly up here. Pardon me. Alright, so we need this guy to progress here. And this is one of the only levels where Kirby needs to be a parachute and hold an item at the same time. So there we go. Head up this way. Kind of stick towards the middle here. There's a couple enemies that'll probably boop us a little bit, but not too bad. There we go. And there's that level. Alright, so only 2 more regular levels left before the final boss. These next 2 levels, I do believe this next level has a throwback to Kracko in it. We'll get to see him for a little bit here, as this Waddle Dee flies in. This level also has... It's either this level or the next level that has an auto-scroller in it. I do believe it is this level. Alright. So we're gonna catch onto this button here. Catch onto more buttons, just to pull ourselves forward. These are little bouncy clouds, we'll need them later in this level. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we just gotta find another cloud. So now here comes Kracko. Oh, hello. That's okay. So this button section can be a little tricky if you don't manage to catch onto one. We did, so we're okay. This next section is a little tricky. We gotta get as high as we can with these clouds. Try to catch this one here. There we go. Yep, here's the auto-scroller. This one's a side auto-scroller. Kind of the same concept as the last auto-scroller we saw. That's alright. So we'll just chill up in this corner up here. Kind of let these guys fly past us. That one's trying to come back and get us, but he's just gonna sit back there. Then we got mini Krakos. And then the Waddle Dee's shooting arrows at nothing. Or that one's shooting it at the other guy. Alright. We'll just chill up in this corner here. It just gave me a bunch of beads, but we'll lose those at some point. Alright. So we got a bunch of cannons here. Up and down a little bit. Just body these Waddle Dees off the edge. Slide into that tower. And then it's better to take the upper route here because you can avoid these beads and there's a CD down there that you don't want to pick up. Right, I do believe the Krako fight is coming up. Yep, music fade out, there's Krako. So we just kind of sit up next to him. Follow him up and down here. Just making sure that all of the stars hit him. Just kind of just bump into him as much as we can. There we go. There's the Krako fight. Alright, so now we just have one more regular level left. And then we can fight Yin Yarn. There we go. So this next level is a throwback to DDD's castle. There's some interesting cycles that we're going to try to hopefully make here. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to jump up here so that we can get ourselves enough room to get up here. This castle's a little angry. But with that we get stars, and then we get a carpet. Alright, so this is DDD's castle. Or Castle DDD. Alright. So this level has probably another great track. And then you'll see these little star balls here. We need these to progress quite a bit in the level. Oh no! That's not good. Okay. That's alright. Not a big deal there. Got a cannon. There's a lot of these in this level. Oh, come on, Kirby. There we go. So we're gonna head up this way. Get rid of those guys to pull the wall out. Use that to boost through here. Not gonna make the first cycle, but these are pretty continuous. So it's only minor if we fall down. Oh, that's gonna push us a little bit. Up we go. Now we gotta... that. There we go. Defeat large Waddle Dee, and then this exclamation point comes over here. Hooks himself onto this picture. And then we pull it. And there's a DDD statue. So now we pull this zipper. This causes the platform to fall down. We go down here. catch up to a couple cannons. But I'm gonna try to get first cycle. There we go. Alright, that's the last regular level of Epic Yarn. So the next boss fight, it isn't too long of a boss fight. There's a couple little minor tricks that, I was told that helped me get through the fight just a little bit faster. So we're gonna head down here. Ring a bell. Which brings up probably one of the uglier bosses in video games that I've seen. He doesn't look very, styling, I would say. And then he just makes the background even worse. So we're gonna go ahead and fight Yin Yarn. Hopefully this fight will be nice and smooth. Kirby is ready to take Yin Yarn on, so here we go. Alright. So the key to this fight is, after the boss rush of course, is to stay on the left. You'll see why in just a second after we fight this imposter Fangora. He just roars at us and Kirby is all ready to fight. So we face away like always. And then there's Fangora. So thanks to Donger, who told me that staying on the left is the best way to get through this fight, we're gonna stay on the left. There we go. Easy way to get through that carpet section. Alright, so now there's another flashback to Kapamari. But luckily these bosses are only one shots. So I'm gonna grab him. There you go. Alright. So now we stay on the left again. This one's a little bit more tricky to get. So we're gonna try our best here. Oh, Kirby, come on. Oh, okay. Well, Kirby decided not to turn into a car, so... I'm on the wrong side now. Which is a little unfortunate. So we're gonna try this again. Alright. So there we go. That's what should have happened the first time we went through the curtain, but that's alright. So now we grab one of these guys. Hit him, grab him, toss him. And he's gonna come out and take away this. And I do believe the snowman's gonna spawn here. Oh, I forgot about these guys. Alright, so we bring these enemies towards us. Ground pounding them or getting hit by them is the best way to get rid of them. So we grab Snowman. Oh, don't get bopped off there too bad. Hit him. Launch him. Alright, so that's the first phase of Yin Yarn. Not quite done yet. Of course, because the game has to pull a, But wait! There's more! Alright, so these two little guys decide it's a good idea to make a tank with some kind of, looks like a sombrero sort of hat. But then our pal Meta Knight comes in and says, oh, remember that really overpowered ability you have earlier? Well, here you go. Alright, so... Oh, I got the early bullet off. So we just basically, we run right up into him. He pushes us a little bit. He pushes us back, but we can just keep running right up to him. So he keeps hitting us, but we're just gonna bullet spam. Alright, so time will be when I hit the pole, so be ready on that. So he's suspended now. We just kind of run right up under him. He does this bullet spam here. Alright, so time's coming up very shortly. Get a couple more hits off. Alright. Okay, so timing will be when I hit the pole. So it's gonna be right at the right here, and time. Alright, that's Kirby's Epic Yarn. There you go. Fun little game there. Alright, so that was time there. It looks like the timer's still going, but...
With Yin Yarn's spell broken, Dreamland returned to its
not quite a PB, but,
of peace and quiet.
who's in there? I don't know who's working the timer, but time ended a while ago.
Well, I guess this is goodbye, Fluff said.
Okay.
Made Kirby sad to see his new friend leave.
All good, all good.
Buck up, Kirby. As long as you have this
So there's Kirby's Epic Yarn.
you can visit me any
Shoutouts to
Until then,
Donger
Fluff
and
said
friends
he
who have
returned
decided to
back
pick up
to
this game. Yeah,
And that's
thanks
the
for having me,
story
guys.
of how Kirby and Prince Fluff defeated Yin Yarn the Sorcerer and restored peace to Dreamland.